Hey, I'm going to tackle a topic that I know you have probably been thinking about or at least talking about lately, and that is why your engagement might be down. Wah, wah. Okay, so without a doubt, the number one topic that people ask me about, want coaching about, freak out about in every forum is engagement. Sometimes this gets disguised as questions about the algorithm. I'm not really going to talk about the algorithm today because, quite frankly, it really doesn't have anything to do with your engagement. Now, some of you are like, what? Yes, it does. Well, let me explain. So, I'm going to talk about Instagram particularly, but literally everything I talk about in this episode is going to apply to social media at large. So if you're like, hey, Soraya, I'm on TikTok. Okay, cool. It still applies. Hey, Soraya, I'm on LinkedIn. Cool. Still applies. All of this applies because we're going to talk basic marketing principles today. Why your engagement might be down. Now, let me just be upfront. Yes, Instagram in particular has been testing all sorts of things. And so, in regards to that testing, you might be experiencing a little less reach. That is true. But I see so many people walking around with a victim mindset about social media, like, oh, the algorithm is the reason why I'm not, gaining followers. Okay, maybe, but there are tons of people that I see that are growing like gangbusters. So how come their stuff is doing well and yours isn't? Like, it's not some global Instagram plot to keep you down. Nobody on Instagram knows who you or I are, right? There's billions of people on social media across the world. Like, nobody is targeting you or I. So what might be the reason why people aren't interested in your content anymore? Maybe it's a combination of a few things. So let's just talk about some things that it might be. Again, Instagram is testing a bunch of features. Okay, got it. So we're just going to say it's not the algorithm because everybody has been undergoing all these tests. And so that's really not an issue in my opinion. Number two, I hear people say, well, it's that more people are on social media. Okay, well, yeah, but again, I see evidence of lots of people still growing and people who haven't been on Instagram for a long time or, name your social media platform. So that's not it, because if new people can come to the scene, create an Instagram account and see massive growth, then it's not a diluting of the, your followers or anything crazy like that. Okay, so let's take a really harsh introspective look at what it could be. And I want to fall back on just basic marketing principles. So, it is likely your message. What do I mean by that? I mean that for years, I'm going to say from like 2012 to 2000, maybe 18 or 19. If you were cute, you looked good, you had some cute branding going on, some nice photos, you occasionally got a photo shoot or took some really good iPhone pics, you could grow regardless of your message. That is no longer the case. It's just no longer the case. Why is that? Because we are all so much smarter and we've been around this social media game for a little bit now. And so we see through the people who are just showing up to show us how cute they are or, just some surface level engagement, or they're showing up just so that they can grow and they don't really have any substantive value to give. But if you're listening to this podcast, that is not you. You want to grow your business and you have a product, a service, or an opportunity that you can sell to somebody that is going to make their life better. Absolutely. And so that's not you. Now, if you show up and just create cute content without a message, you might continue to maintain your status quo. Like your personality, you talking about your product or your service, just that kind of stuff will probably keep you afloat, but it's not going to help you grow. Now, I'm just going to take a tangent here. I don't want to obsess about growth, okay? Because I know that not all of us can be massive Instagram influencers, nor do we want to be. Like, that's not the purpose. We want growth because we want more eyeballs on what we have to sell. And we want more eyeballs, we want traffic, in essence, on our feeds, on our Instagram feeds. We want followers so that people can get to know us through our Instagram stories so you can make an offer for whatever it is you're selling. That's how marketing works. That's how social media works. So I'm not a person that is obsessed with, everybody hitting 10,000 followers or growing to 100,000 followers or whatever the magic number that you want to hit is. I don't really care about any of that. I want to get growth because I want to build connections with more people. So when I say growth, I'm not talking about some magic number or benchmark. I just mean that the more people that we expose our products to, our offers, get to know, build relationships with, the more people we can impact. Okay. So that's my little tangent, but let's bring it back to content creation. Like if you're a personal brand, which again, if you're listening to this, 99% you probably are, it is sometimes hard to figure out what your message is beyond what you're selling, your product, service, your opportunity, and the old-fashioned advice to just document your day, right? Well, document your day, but what are we doing? Like, we're not just showing the smoothie that we're making. We're not just showing, that we're dropping kids off at school or whatever it is that you do for your day. What people mean by documenting your day is that you live with purpose. And especially if you have a business, you have deep-seated, very intense desires on how you want to change your life and how you have already changed your life. Those are the things that we want to uncover when we're talking about documenting your day. So that's a long way of saying that if you're a personal brand, you need to be more forward with your message. And that's really the bottom line. That's really the bottom line of this episode, is that your engagement might be down because your message is not present. You have a cute feed, you look pretty, your photos are great, but nobody really knows what you stand for. Nobody really knows what you're here to do. Nobody really knows what your mission is. Nobody really knows why you spend time creating content and DMing people and noticing people and engaging with people and doing all this stuff. Why are you doing it? If you take a look at all the people that you follow on Instagram, most of the people that you're obsessed with, the people that you're like, oh my God, I cannot wait to see what else is going on in their stories, those people are the people that have moved you. They may not be your story. Like they might not have the same story that you have. They might live halfway across the world. They might be in a totally different industry. Who knows? None of that really matters. What they have done though is they have brought you into their world with a message, with a deep message about being a better human or relieving some sort of pain. I don't mean physical pain. I mean like existential pain, getting to the next level in your life. They have a message likely couched in a story that they are inspiring you with. Okay, so let me just say that in a different way because I think repetition is important. The people that you are excited to follow on Instagram or any social media platform for that matter are the people that give you a message and they serve that message or messages up on a platter wrapped up in a personal story. They document their day, they document their journey as a vehicle for a message. Now, I'm not saying that everybody on Instagram is a motivational speaker or out to inspire you. Messages don't have to be, the most impactful thing on the planet. So I'm going to take you through what this message could look like and why sometimes personal brands have a hard time figuring out what their messages are or message is. If you are a personal brand, often you're like, well, I've got my thing that I'm going to sell, right? I'm in weight loss or I sell hair care products or oils or collagen, whatever it is that you sell. A lot of times you mistake that for your message. But nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, I am so freaking pumped to sell fill in the blank, like whatever your product is, right? You sell that product because you know it will impact people and it will make a difference for maybe their physical health or their emotional health or maybe their financial situation. There's a benefit to that, right? Like nobody's a fifth grader, and when their teacher says, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? They're like, I want to sell shampoo. No, nobody does that. That doesn't mean it's not important, but that shampoo is a vehicle for something else. That collagen, those oils, that cleaning product, whatever it is that you're selling is a vehicle for transformation. Again, there's the product transformation and there's the business transformation. So you have probably come to your business because you experienced one of those transformations. You probably have multiple transformations and multiple stories. There's probably a story within you about your product, maybe multiple stories about your product. There's probably a story about why you came to the business side, your business opportunity. And whether or not you have seen that success so far does not matter. It is the potential for you to succeed that is the most important, and the vehicle of being in network marketing or direct sales or affiliate marketing or whatever it is that you do. So you have all these stories buried inside of you. And our goal to build your brand and to increase your engagement is to make those the forefront of your social media so people fall in love with you and fall in love with the transformation that they can then also have. You following me so far? I hope that all is clear. If not, go back and listen to all this again. But I want to give you some tangible things. 4 tips, 4 ways that you can do this. So let's just bring it down to the practical. What I want you to do, number 1, is to tell your personal story or stories, those ones that I was just talking about. Why are you where you are? Why are you selling your product? Why are you selling your service? Why are you selling your business opportunity? What pain, what led you here? There is 100% a story of pain. It could be financial pain. It could be physical pain. It could be emotional pain. It could be relationship pain. It could be all of those. But you have some sort of pain point that led you to say, yes, I would like to get on the interwebs and sell some stuff. There is pain there, okay? I'm not saying that you want to get online and pour your guts out every single day about your pain, but you want to remind people about your story. Hey, I was in this situation. I didn't like the situation. And because of the situation, someone introduced me to XYZ, and now I'm not in that situation anymore. Or now I'm on my way out of that situation. Or now I have hope. Or now I'm in a community that's showing the way out of that pain, whatever that is. Tell your personal story and talk about why it led you to where you are. Use your own stories as an example, and in that, you will relate to other people. People aren't going to go, oh my God, that's my exact same story. They're going to go, oh no, I have been in a similar situation, and they're going to be able to relate to you that way. Number 2, after you tell your personal story, you want to talk about how you feel now that you are on your way to success or now that you have overcome that pain. You're either on the journey or you're on the other side of that journey, depending on what your story is. Either one is totally acceptable. Talk about how you feel now that you're going through it and getting to the other side of that hurdle, that challenge, that pain, or talk about how you feel now that you've figured it out, now that you have overcome that challenge in your life, now that you no longer have that struggle, that pain. Again, this could be a physical thing. It could be an emotional thing. It could be a relationship thing. It could be a financial thing. Whatever it is, you want to talk about how you feel now, because here's the problem. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I had this challenge and I found this product and now my life is good. And they skip describing the part where you're going to be able to cultivate that emotional connection. So you want to describe to people that, you know what? I used to feel the most intense shame around the way that I looked because I didn't know how to do my hair or apply makeup, or I was embarrassed about my size, or whatever it is, right? We're just talking products specifically here. But then The powerful part of the story is that not only are people going to relate to how you feel before, but then you're going to say, and you know what? I was able to find this product. I was able to do this thing, make these changes. My mentor showed me the way. And now I no longer feel that shame. I no longer feel like I have to hide. I no longer feel like I'm invisible or like people are overlooking me. Now, that's just an example. But when you start to describe the feelings after, like on the other side of your product, service, or opportunity, you're describing what people want. And that is what marketing is all about. That is what marketing is all about. And so you can do this, again, with your product, your service, your opportunity, anything. But number one, tell your personal story and talk about how you got to where you are, why you're in business. Then number two, talk about how you feel now that you're on your journey or figured whatever it is out and solved your problems. Number three, you then want to be very specific and tell other people that you can help them feel that way too. Like you could literally say those words. And guess what? Now I get to help other people feel that same way too. Now I get to help other people achieve the thing that I just achieved, or, bring them with me on the road as we walk this path together, whatever applies to you, and give them a strong call to action. Last step is you want to repeat this story or these stories over and over and over and over again. Assume that everybody on the internet is distracted and totally not paying attention, because that's the truth. That is the truth. People are, scrolling social media at stoplights and, while their kids are talking to them, and nobody is paying attention fully and present. So assume that everybody is distracted and they're going to need to hear it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 100 times before they really, really pay attention. So talk about your different stories. You can have multiple stories for your business or your products or a combination, but keep them coming. So my best advice to you is to take maybe 30 minutes to an hour with a blank sheet of paper and just start writing down the things that led you to your product, your service, or your opportunity, and your stories that go along with that. Talk about the emotions, how you felt before and now how you feel afterwards, and start using that language in your marketing. Okay, so back to my initial statement. Once you start doing that more often, you will start to connect with people, and you will start to see that people will comment on your posts. People will share your posts. People will reach out to you and say, "Oh my God, you described exactly what I'm going through." And that's when you know that you've hit the sweet spot. That's when you know that your marketing is on point, is when people are reacting to what you're saying. Now, if you have a small following on any platform, it's going to be proportional, right? You can't just expect overnight that thousands of people are going to comment on your post if you only have a couple hundred followers. So we're not talking about massive growth and change overnight, but this is the way that engagement works. When you emotionally connect with people and you serve them by sharing with them how you went through the thing that you've gone through, and you make them feel less alone, and you build that community one post at a time, this is how engagement is created. This is how community is created. This is how familiarity is created. This is why people reach out to me and lots of other people online and say, "Hey, like, I don't even know what business you're in, but I want to work with you because that is how I feel right now." And again, when you start getting those kind of DMs, you're in that sweet spot. So I hope that this has helped. I would love to see examples of you putting this into practice or just sharing your story. So if you feel bold, go ahead and tag me in your story. Maybe you do this in Instagram stories. Maybe you do this on a feed post, whatever it is, feel free to tag away. I would love to see you do that. Just as a friendly reminder though, I don't do coaching in the DMs. So please don't ask me to review your story or give you feedback on that, because my time is super valuable and I reserve that time for the people that are on my team and my paid coaching clients. I am sure you understand that. But I would love to see you out there, putting yourself out there and making waves on social media. So I am wishing you all the best with telling your story, increasing that engagement, building that community, and seeing the long-term success of your efforts. One last reminder though, before I hop off, if you are looking for help with some social media captions, I have a new PDF that I have created. It's short and sweet and to the point, and it is some of my best captions. It's like a fill in the blank. I call them my Mad Lib style captions. It's very, very simple. A lot of the captions that I have on this PDF are about storytelling and telling your story. So if you don't really know how to put what I just talked to you about into action, go to my website or the show notes on whatever platform that you're listening to this podcast on and download that PDF and go ahead and start implementing them. I think you will see some really, really good results. All right, till next episode. Bye.